In 1954, factory workers, farmers, and dock builders were carrying 100-pound loads before breakfast, not on designer supplements, not on neon-colored pre-workouts, but on something that cost less than 30 cents. No influencers, no fancy labels, just strength that showed up in their hands, their backs, and their posture. So here's the question. What did they know that we forgot? Why is it that today, after 50, so many people struggle to build muscle? Even when they spend hundreds of dollars on protein powders and gym memberships. Why does strength seem to disappear faster than it used to? Is it really just aging? Or is something missing from the equation? What if I told you that one of the most powerful muscle-supporting powders in history has been quietly sitting on grocery store shelves this entire time? Overlooked, inexpensive, and backed by science that most people never hear about. After 50, your body changes. Muscle protein synthesis slows down. Recovery takes longer. Hormones shift. But that does not mean building muscle is over. In fact, with the right strategy, many people rebuild strength faster than they did in their 40s. The key is giving your body the raw materials it actually recognizes, not just what modern marketing pushes. In this video, you will discover 4 forgotten powder that cost less than $1 and build muscle fast after 60, a secret people use in the 1950s. The number 2 in this list will shock you. Stay with me till the end. Before we get started, welcome if this is your first time here. How old are you right now? Drop your age in the comments. We are reading and replying to each single one. Hit like, subscribe, and drop your country in the comments so we know where our family is growing from. Let's begin. Number 4, the original shake, dried skim milk powder. Long before glossy tubs of ultra-filtered muscle fuel lined supplement store shelves, lifters in the 1950s were using something astonishingly simple: dried skim milk powder. It was inexpensive, shelf-stable, and available in any grocery store. Old-school physical culturists would stir several spoonfuls into whole milk to create a thick, calorie-dense shake that quietly supported muscle growth, recovery, and resilience. They did not call it casein loading or overnight anabolic support. They just knew it worked. Today, we understand why. Dried skim milk powder is rich in high-quality dairy protein, primarily casein, along with a smaller portion of whey. Casein is known as a slow-digesting protein. Unlike whey, which spikes amino acids quickly and fades within a few hours, casein forms a gel-like structure in the stomach and releases amino acids gradually over time. This slow release is especially important after 50 and 60, when the body becomes less responsive to protein intake, a condition known as anabolic resistance. In simple terms, your muscles require a stronger, more sustained signal to grow and repair. A landmark study published in 2012 in the journal Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise demonstrated that consuming casein protein before sleep significantly increased overnight muscle protein synthesis in older men. Researchers found that pre-sleep protein was effectively digested and absorbed during the night, improving whole-body protein balance and helping counteract nighttime muscle breakdown. This is critical because during sleep, your body is in a fasting state for 6 to 8 hours. Without incoming amino acids, it may begin breaking down muscle tissue for fuel. A slow-digesting protein source helps protect against that loss. Dried skim milk powder behaves very similarly to modern casein supplements, but at a fraction of the cost. With the water and fat removed, it becomes a concentrated source of protein, calcium, potassium, and phosphorus. Calcium plays an additional role in muscle contraction and nerve signaling, while adequate mineral intake supports recovery and overall strength. For older adults, this combination of sustained amino acid delivery and mineral support can be particularly valuable for preserving lean mass and maintaining mobility. Another advantage is practicality. Unlike many modern supplements, dried milk powder requires no special storage and contains no artificial sweeteners or additives. It is simply dehydrated dairy protein. When mixed into liquid, it thickens the drink and slows gastric emptying, further extending amino acid availability. To use it, take 3 tablespoons of non-fat dry milk powder and mix thoroughly into 1 cup of milk or warm water. Drink it about 30 minutes before bed. This simple ritual mirrors what lifters practiced decades ago, providing your muscles with steady building blocks throughout the night when recovery truly happens. Number 3. The metabolic engine, brewer's yeast powder. Decades before sports drinks and synthetic multivitamins became mainstream, workers and early-strength athletes relied on something far less glamorous: brewer's yeast powder. It was a bitter, inexpensive byproduct of beer fermentation, but it carried an extraordinary nutritional density. Laborers in the early 1900s reported improved stamina, fewer energy crashes, and better recovery when they consumed small daily amounts. At the time, they did not fully understand why. Today, we do. Brewer's yeast is naturally rich in B-complex vitamins, including B1, thiamine, B2, riboflavin, B3, niacin, B6, and folate, along with trace minerals such as chromium. These nutrients are not directly muscle-building in the way protein is, but they are absolutely essential for turning food into usable energy. Without adequate B vitamins, your body cannot efficiently metabolize carbohydrates, fats, and amino acids. In other words, you could be eating enough protein, but if your metabolic engine is weak, that protein will not be used optimally for muscle repair. This becomes especially important after 50. As we age, stomach acid production often declines, digestion becomes less efficient, and absorption of micronutrients can drop. Many older adults unknowingly develop subclinical deficiencies in B vitamins. This can contribute to fatigue, slower recovery, and impaired protein utilization. Brewer's yeast helps close that gap by supplying highly bioavailable forms of these nutrients. Chromium is another key component. It plays a role in enhancing insulin sensitivity, which determines how effectively your cells respond to insulin and absorb glucose from the bloodstream. Efficient glucose uptake is critical because muscle cells use glucose for energy during training and recovery. When insulin sensitivity is poor, more glucose is diverted toward fat storage instead of muscle replenishment. A notable study published in 2003 in Diabetes Care examined chromium supplementation in adults with impaired glucose tolerance. Researchers found that chromium improved insulin sensitivity and glucose control compared to placebo. While the study used chromium supplements rather than whole brewer's yeast alone, brewer's yeast remains one of the most natural food-based sources of bioavailable chromium, historically used for metabolic support. Brewer's yeast also supports amino acid metabolism. Vitamin B6, in particular, acts as a coenzyme in protein metabolism, helping convert dietary amino acids into usable muscle tissue. Without sufficient B6, protein synthesis efficiency may decline, something older adults can ill afford. When purchasing, choose pure brewer's yeast powder, not nutritional yeast, which is processed differently and has a distinct nutrient profile. The flavor is strong and bitter, so start with 1 teaspoon mixed into oatmeal, yogurt, or soup. After 1 week, you may increase gradually to 1 tablespoon daily as tolerated. For many people over 50, restoring metabolic efficiency is the missing link. And when your metabolic engine runs smoothly, muscle building becomes dramatically easier. Number 2. The joint glue, unflavored gelatin powder. Before collagen peptides were rebranded into premium tubs with glossy labels, there was plain, inexpensive baking gelatin. In the 1950s, strength athletes and manual laborers treated it almost like joint insurance. After long days of lifting, climbing, and carrying, they would dissolve unflavored gelatin in warm water and drink it to support their knees, shoulders, and backs. It was simple, affordable, and remarkably practical. Gelatin is essentially cooked collagen. Collagen is the primary structural protein found in cartilage, tendons, ligaments, skin, and even parts of bone. When collagen is heated and dried, it becomes gelatin, rich in specific amino acids, especially glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline. These amino acids are not abundant in most modern diets, which tend to emphasize muscle meats but lack connective tissues and slow-cooked broths that older generations consumed regularly. After 50, collagen production naturally declines. Cartilage becomes thinner, tendons lose elasticity, and joints may feel stiff or unstable. This is a major obstacle to muscle building. You cannot train consistently if every squat irritates your knees or every push-up aggravates your shoulders. Supporting connective tissue is not optional. It is foundational. Modern research supports what those early lifters noticed. A well-known study published in 2017 in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition investigated collagen supplementation combined with exercise in elderly men with sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. After 12 weeks, the group receiving collagen peptides alongside resistance training experienced greater increases in fat-free mass and strength compared to the placebo group. While this study used hydrolyzed collagen, gelatin provides many of the same amino acids that contribute to connective tissue repair and support. In addition, earlier research published in 2008 in Current Medical Research and Opinion found that collagen hydrolysate supplementation reduced joint pain in athletes, particularly during activity. The mechanism is believed to involve stimulating cartilage-producing cells, chondrocytes, and improving the structural matrix of joints over time. Glycine, one of gelatin's dominant amino acids, offers another important benefit: sleep support. A 2012 study published in Frontiers in Neurology showed that consuming 3 grams of glycine before bedtime improved subjective sleep quality and reduced next-day fatigue. A deep sleep is when growth hormone is released, a key hormone involved in tissue repair, muscle recovery, and collagen synthesis. Better sleep amplifies the benefits. To use gelatin, buy plain, unflavored packets from the baking aisle. Empty 1 packet, about 1 tablespoon, into a mug with a small amount of cold water to let it bloom. After 1 minute, add hot water and stir until fully dissolved. Drink it about 45 minutes before bed. Consistent use may gradually support joint comfort, better sleep, and stronger connective tissue. All critical if you want to keep building muscle safely after 50. But wait until you see number 1, because it tackles one of the biggest hidden causes of senior weakness. Number 1. The anabolic capsule, desiccated liver. During the golden era of physical culture, long before synthetic pre-workouts and designer supplements dominated the market, serious strength athletes relied on something far more primitive and far more nutrient-dense: desiccated liver tablets. These small, dried beef liver tablets became legendary in the 1940s and 1950s. Lifters would take them by the handful before training, not for a caffeine buzz, but for deep, sustained stamina. And there was real physiology behind that tradition. Beef liver is one of the most concentrated natural sources of bioavailable micronutrients on the planet. It is exceptionally rich in heme iron, vitamin B12, vitamin A, retinol, folate, copper, and high-quality protein. After 50, many adults develop subtle deficiencies in iron or B12 without realizing it. Even mild deficiencies can reduce red blood cell production and oxygen delivery to tissues. The result? Fatigue, shortness of breath, weakness, and reduced exercise tolerance. Symptoms often blamed purely on aging. Iron plays a central role in building hemoglobin, the molecule in red blood cells that carries oxygen from your lungs to your muscles. It also helps form myoglobin, a protein inside muscle cells that stores and transports oxygen locally. Without adequate iron, muscles fatigue faster because they simply cannot access enough oxygen to sustain contraction. A study published in 2015 in Hematologica highlighted the prevalence of anemia and iron deficiency in older adults, and confirmed that even mild anemia is associated with decreased physical performance and reduced muscle strength. Similarly, research published in 2014 in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that vitamin B12 deficiency in older adults is linked to impaired physical function and muscle weakness. These are not small issues. They directly impact your ability to train, recover, and build lean mass. Desiccated liver provides heme iron, which is far more easily absorbed than non-heme iron found in plant foods. It also supplies vitamin B12 in its natural form, essential for red blood cell formation, nerve health, and energy metabolism. When hemoglobin and myoglobin levels are optimized, oxygen delivery improves. That means better endurance during workouts, faster recovery between sets, and less breathlessness during daily activities like climbing stairs or carrying groceries. Vitamin A in liver also supports immune resilience and cellular repair, while copper works synergistically with iron to support red blood cell production. This natural nutrient matrix is something isolated synthetic vitamins often fail to replicate effectively. If eating fresh liver is not appealing, high-quality desiccated liver capsules offer a practical alternative. Start with 2 capsules in the morning with food to assess tolerance, then gradually increase to 4 daily if well tolerated. Because of the natural B12 content, it is best taken earlier in the day. For many adults over 50, correcting hidden micronutrient gaps can dramatically improve stamina, strength, and recovery, making desiccated liver one of the most underestimated anabolic tools from the past. To wrap things up, building muscle after 50 does not require expensive designer supplements or complicated lab formulas. Your body responds best to real nutrients it recognizes and knows how to use. When you return to simple, time-tested foods that support protein synthesis, metabolism, joint integrity, and oxygen delivery, you give yourself a real chance to regain strength that may have seemed lost. Dried skim milk, brewer's yeast, unflavored gelatin, and desiccated liver are not trendy, but they are powerful, with consistency, and with your doctor's guidance if you have any medical conditions. These affordable tools can help rebuild muscle, support recovery, reduce joint discomfort, and improve daily energy. Progressive weakness is not always an unavoidable part of aging. Often, it reflects missing nutritional building blocks. Now I want to hear from you. Which one are you adding first? Drop a comment below with your age and your choice. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone over 50 who wants their strength back. See you in the next video.